Inevitably, if you want to stay in the power seat, if you want to design your actions for the impact you want, you will need to build productive boundaries. But boundaries get a super bad rap, and that's because of how we typically use them. Often, we establish boundaries as a final measure, as a last resort to address someone or something that we feel is impinging upon us. When we implement boundaries in this way, they communicate judgment or superiority, or at the extreme, punishment. You aren't respecting me or my time, I am putting in a boundary. They become about the external, about other people or circumstances. Often when we say we have to have some boundaries, it's because we're feeling victimized by something external. Now, we may not use that language, but we're feeling a little bit put upon by something external to us. And we're finally standing up for ourselves by installing a boundary. Unfortunately, this is a misuse or misunderstanding of boundaries, and as a result, they make boundaries super uncomfortable and we tend to avoid them. We tend to avoid having boundaries. The truth is, who is responsible for boundaries? It's our responsibility. It's part of our power. Boundaries are part of your power, not the power of punishment or superiority or judgment. If we make other people responsible for our boundaries, then we are moving ourselves right on out of the power seat. We're handing over our power to other people or circumstances. Boundaries are about us. They are the friendly fences that protect what we care about. The focus of a boundary isn't on what you're keeping out. It should be on what you're tending or caring for. Boundaries become completely different when you come from this perspective, when you see that they're really there to protect what you care about. My sister and brother-in-law every summer plant, tend, and harvest a vegetable garden. And their vegetable garden has a fence around it to keep the deer out. If you plant a garden, the deer will find it. It's food. They're going to eat it. Now, they're not doing anything wrong by eating it. They're being deer. You can't delegate the responsibility for the garden to the deer. You're going to really be disappointed if you do. It's the responsibility of the gardener to protect the plants. The fence is not an indictment on the deer. It's the responsible action of a gardener who is caring for the plants. The focus here really matters. Boundaries demonstrate your power to protect what you care about. Creating boundaries are part of designing for goal achievement and critical for retaining your own power to have impact. How do you know when you need a friendly fence? When you need a boundary or a rule? One way is to look at what appears to be getting in the way of your making progress towards, let's say, your goals. So if something is getting in the way of your making progress, it is simply pointing out to you where you may have let go of your power. And to regain your power, you choose to create a friendly fence, a boundary or rule that will protect what you care about, protect your ability to make progress on your goals. For example, let's say that you find that you're so tired during the day that you're too tired to accomplish anything related towards your goals. And as you look at this further, you discover that you're going to bed quite late and not actually getting enough sleep. So you see that you need to protect your sleep. That's what you need to protect in order to accomplish your goals. To protect your sleep, you exercise your power by creating a boundary, a rule related to when you go to sleep. Or maybe you see that you're overcommitted, overextended in all the things that you've committed to, and there simply is not enough time in a day to focus on your goals. You can take the power to determine what your rules are for what you say yes and what you say no to, what you commit to. If you are always saying yes, you're likely in need of some boundaries. The lack of boundaries on your part will compromise your ability to have the impact that you want. It will decrease your power. Or maybe you notice that there is a person that you interact with a lot who is very negative in general, or maybe they're negative about your specific goals, and you feel exhausted every time you talk to them. What you want to protect is your positive energy and mindset. And so you may need to install for yourself a friendly little fence and decide that you're going to reduce the amount of time that you are around this person. Now, you do not, this is a case-by-case situation, but you do not necessarily need to go and announce that to the person. This is you taking your power of choice about how you're going to spend your time and around who you spend your time with. Or maybe you notice that your own mindset or belief is getting in the way of your goal achievement and is compromising something you care about. What you want to protect is your mindset, and so you may need to implement a rule. Maybe every time I think about this or have this thought, and we did this in the mindset lesson or the mindset week, every time I think this, I'm going to replace it with this thought. That's my boundary. I have a boundary around the good thinking, the beliefs that will support me in achieving my goals. If you want to be productive, if you want to accomplish your goals, if you want to have the impact that you intend, then you need to implement friendly fences to protect what you care about, what it is that you need to accomplish your goals or to have the impact that you want. That's how you go from default to design, boundaries, friendly fences. The capacity to install boundaries, to build friendly fences, is part of your power.